But just this story of Prince Harry, which the more I think about this, the more fascinating this is. It's been reported Prince Harry did tell US authorities about his history of drug use when he applied for a visa. Sources close to the Duke of Sussex insisted that the royal told officials the truth about his past use of cannabis, cocaine and magic mushrooms when he applied for residency in California. Harry revealed in his memoir Spare that he'd used recreational drugs, raising questions of how the royal could have even been allowed to enter the United States in the first place. The admission led to a conservative think tank using a freedom of information law to find out who let the Duke into the country. But under US law, an admission of drug use usually results in a person being denied entry to the United States. So what is going on? Rupert Bell, TalkTV royal correspondent, is with us. Is this VIP treatment, fast lane treatment for Prince Harry, do you think, Rupert?
I don't know, but I think probably when he went to America, I don't think there was probably too many restrictions, bearing in mind his wife is American, or Canadian, but obviously American citizenship. So I don't think there were too many problems in him being able to get into California, into America. Clearly, I think this is, there's been a freedom of information request to find out what his sort of terms of entry were. And that's why this has all come about. And clearly we know, as you were alluding to there in the Spare, that he has used drugs at various stages throughout his life, some for medicinal reasons as well, and even suggesting that he's still taking some form of drugs now for medicinal purposes to help him with his, some of the mental issues that he alludes to. So it is all quite interesting that this is coming out now. I can't see anything coming of this in terms of his status of being in America. I don't see him suddenly being put back on a plane and told, well, you can't come in now. I just don't see that happening. I think this is probably no more than people being just wanting to make sure that the rules have been adhered to.
It is interesting, isn't it? I mean, this guy isn't saying I once smoked a spliff at university. He's talking cannabis. He's talking cocaine, magic mushrooms. It's like a scene from Breaking Bad, Rupert.
Well, yes, he's led a full and active life, clearly, as we can see. And one of the things before he met Meghan was the fun-loving aspect of his life. And he played hard, worked hard when he was in the armed forces. And that was clearly, and he had lots of friends around him, and he was a bit of a social beast and would be seen coming out of the odd nightclub in London looking a little bit jaded, having had a bit over-refreshed might be the phrase, but he has led a full and active life, and the Spare reveals all about that. So he's not hidden anything away, and presumably because of that, he couldn't hide anything away from any immigration authorities. So I think hopefully, he has done the right thing, declared whatever went on before, and that presumably has been sanctioned for him to be able to live in the States as he is now.
Yeah, and I wonder, maybe others will say, do you know what, if you put down on your form you're not an addict, you're not an addict, you're not dependent on it, but some years ago you did do something, maybe other people would also get through. But it does seem, given that there is, clearly a period of his life where he was, I don't want to say prolific, but, he has dabbled in quite a lot, that some might say that would have at least had a conversation with Border Force when you arrived in the States.
Yes, well, I think, look, you always get questions about, have you been around livestock, or things like that. There are all sorts of questions you get asked by United States authorities as you go into the country. I think you have to also take, how long ago was it? Has he reformed and changed? Well, you would assume that he has, because people do things probably, they might regret when they were young, and I think we might put that into that category, because clearly now he has moved on. He's got 2 children, and, he probably is now leading, a far more sedate lifestyle that he's not now seen living it up at whatever party he's going to. So the things have changed, and I imagine that's what they look into. I mean, I may have an American wife, but she hasn't dragged me to America yet. So I haven't had to go through this system, but I'm sure I would be asked whatever question they felt. Not that I'd have much to fill in, because, as you know, Ian, I've led such a sheltered life.
Well, indeed, the sheltered, almost choir boy-like existence of Rupert Bell is never to be questioned, and we all know that. It would be a big green light and a doffing of the cap the moment you went through that system. Rupert, thank you as ever. Rupert Bell, TalkTV Royal Correspondent with